write slow. It's forcing me to write slow. It's forcing me to write slow. I'm sorry, the hypnosis, I shouldn't even have to apologize for that. I consciously mean to do that either. So the hypnosis is being used to abuse me right now. I lifted up my hands to show that I wasn't able to write. And then the next video started anyways, but, the hypnosis is being used to abuse me to a profound degree, especially when you take that out of context. You can kind of see the situation where, I would look kind of crazy, right? Just watching this one video specifically, but if you watch the last video, you see, oh, wow, that's really abusive. That is extremely abusive. That is actually terrifying. So, and then I also wrote the word after instead of attorney. So, because, let's see, inhibit ability to testify or present evidence in the court of law, ability to counsel and inhibit, wait. I have to specify inhibit too. Let's see, I'm going to have to do this quickly too. Because, I'm not going to waste my time right now. I'm supposed to make a lot more videos right now too. I don't know if you heard that clicking, but that was, the hypnosis. It wasn't allowing me to write. And inhibit ability. There we go. I'm writing. There. So I definitely have an evidence of, what do you call that, right? I mean, that's not normal. The hypnosis is being used to abuse me. 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 Inhibit ability to counsel and communicate with attorney. There. Since I was talking about getting framed as well, this is really relevant, right? Sorry about that. The hypnosis is just being used to abuse me right now. The hypnosis is just being used to abuse me right now. The hypnosis is just being used to abuse me right now. And I should not have to increase my tone of voice when I'm saying that either. But that's one of the post-hypnotic suggestions that the hypnosis utilized in order to inhibit my ability to even, sound competent or, sane or rational and, or sound of mind. So, and other illicit methods in which hypnosis could, and I mean, I should not have that much difficulty accidentally talking about a murder and witness tampering and how hypnosis was abusing me, and then having to almost yell about hypnosis abusing me during the video for almost an hour now, when I only wrote 2 pages, a page front and back on paper that's not even college lined. Used to interfere. The hypnosis is really being used to abuse me right now. The hypnosis is really being used to abuse me right now. Used to interfere with court processes and obstruct justice. So this is one of the things that I noticed. And obstruct justice. There. Alright. That was an example I already clarified. So I want to point out that the hypnosis has been used to abuse me so much that, I don't have Tourette's syndrome or anything like that, but it almost looked like it, right? And I also want to clarify here. So, what I noticed with my handwriting, especially when I would be recording the videos, and this is very elaborate, and yes, they would become this elaborate with it too. So, they also hypnotized me to list a variety of different post-hypnotic suggestions in succession, or one after another. So when I was pointing out what the hypnosis was doing to inhibit me or abuse me, right? For example, they would do a lot of post-hypnotic suggestions, just like that, one after another, just so that I wouldn't be able to point out all of them, right? And a lot of them would even go unnoticed, and then it would make me look like I was crazy or something like that. Because, like if I named like 3 or 4 of them that happened in under a minute, right? And I was talking about the hypnosis doing this, the hypnosis doing this, the hypnosis is doing this, right? Well, the post-hypnotic suggestions would be not only going faster than I'm able to verbally articulate it, but also the hypnosis would, like I'd have like 4 or 5 post-hypnotic suggestions remain unnoticed by me, but the entire demeanor would appear to be otherwise. So then, that just like that rather insignificant individually, but collectively they're very significant, and that's a method of like that's how a lot of subtle and cynical forms of abuse are. At least psychological forms of abuse, mostly, right? I mean, if it's subtle and cynical, at least. So the hypnosis inhibited my handwriting. This is what I wanted to specify. The hypnosis inhibited my handwriting. So make sure to watch my video, Hypnosis, Abuse, and Inhibition. Hypnosis inhibited my handwriting. Hypnosis inhibited my handwriting. Sorry about that. Hypnosis is... Hypnosis is inhibiting my handwriting. It's inhibiting my ability to think. Oh, okay, there we go. That's it. So what I noticed with it, right? So I was hypnotized to also read faster out loud than what I was writing instead of reading one word at a time as I wrote it, right? I was hypnotized to read ahead of what I was writing so that no one would be able to keep track of how fast I was writing when I was recording these videos. So I wrote hypnosis inhibited my handwriting, but it not only inhibited my handwriting, it it did like when it was inhibiting my handwriting, and I'm using that as evidence. By the way, so I'm gonna have a lot of evidence. Everything that the hypnosis has inhibited my ability to write. Hypnosis was used. Hypnosis was used to, and I mean, it was like this was one of the things that they blocked from out of my mind, right? Kind of like number block, when they were to remove a specific number from your mind, but not all of them. So I mean, like, I just wasn't able to consciously bring it to awareness that that was being used to inhibit me while I was writing, so that people wouldn't be able to keep up with exactly when I was writing which word individually. So I said, sorry about that. Hypnosis, right? There we go. Hypnosis, hypnotized. And this is also an example where, like, it would interfere with my ability to articulate in grammar, right? Even writing the right words, especially because I had to erase just barely, right? Hypnotized to read faster than writing while recording myself. And this was a form of evidence tampering and witness tampering, right? Well, victim tampering too. While recording to obtain evidence of hypnosis inhibiting handwriting. To obtain evidence because... While recording to obtain evidence because... I wouldn't be reading because the video wouldn't show how slow I was writing, how slow I was actually, because the reading wouldn't show how slow I was actually, how much the hypnosis was inhibiting my writing, because the reading wouldn't show how much the hypnosis was slowing my writing down to an unreasonable extent. Slowing my writing down to unreasonable extent. There. Just like that, right? Instead of reading the entire thing before I even wrote it, right? Instead of reading the words before I finished writing the words. Like, I mean, that's what I was hypnotized to do, instead of just, you know, reading what I was writing specifically. That's what they were doing to me, to make my videos less convicting. So now I have that too, which is nice. Because that in itself is actually evidence, especially because now, you know, it'll be a lot more apparent that that's what's going on. And even the videos before, right? Still evidence. So, sorry about that. Again, you know, that's also evidence. That sound, right? And me saying right so much. And I was hypnotized to feel euphoria for it until I realized and pointed it out. That's bad. After being abused with hypnosis, witnessing a murder, being threatened for talking about the murder, being hypnotized to inhibit my ability to testify about the murder, and after surviving manslaughter, from being hypnotized to not drink water unless I would notice, unless someone else would notice, or unless they would get caught for it, and when I attempted to go to the police, I was told that my victim and witness testimonies would not be admissible in court because I was hypnotized. The misinformation and myths and myths about hypnosis. Wait, hold on a second. Are extremely dangerous. Are extremely dangerous, and I mean, like, this is horrible. I mean, the hypnosis is really inhibiting me right now. This is horrible. 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 The hypnosis is really being used to abuse me right now. The hypnosis is really being used to abuse me right now. The hypnosis is really being used to abuse me right now. The hypnosis is really being used to abuse me right now. The hypnosis is really being used to abuse me right now. The hypnosis is really being used to abuse me right now. The hypnosis is really being used to abuse me right now. The hypnosis is really being used to abuse me right now. The hypnosis is really being used to abuse me right now. The hypnosis, I'm sorry about that. You know, I don't have Tourette's syndrome, but, like, I'm definitely being abused by hypnosis, and I have to point it out. Like, you know, as an example, even having to say, like, the hypnosis is being used to abuse me right now instead of writing what instead of reading what I was writing. But, like, you know, anyways, I only wrote this much and then this much, and that was apparently a strain to be able to say, right? So, I mean, like, they're prolonging me for an unreasonable amount of time. Extreme abuse. Extreme abuse. Sorry about that. The hypnosis, you know, that's the hypnosis, right? especially because when I was really strained when I said that word hypnosis. So, the misinformation and myths around hypnosis are extremely dangerous. So, the hypnosis also is inhibiting my ability to articulate specifically, so I'm not able to put into words to describe how I'm being abused with hypnosis, right? And even saying a lot of words like right, yeah, you know, and right. And even sighing too. See, that's what I mean by in succession, because a lot of those would go unnoticed. So it'd be one after another, after another, after another. While I would be trying to explain one, two of them would happen while I was trying to explain it. That's bad. The misinformation myths about hypnosis are extremely dangerous because there's a variety of reasons for why, of course. Let's see. Especially because they're so commonly believed. That's the problem. So, I mean, you know, the misinformation and myths about hypnosis are, you know, like, I mean, hypnosis can't be used to abuse a person. It's the complete opposite. Or hypnosis, you can't be hypnotized to do something against your will. It's the complete opposite. The hypnosis, or that hypnosis, sorry. Hypnosis is abusing me right now, right? That's what's different about me and other people that are saying this, because I've been recording several hours of videos every single day trying to write. Ow. Ow, ow. So, what I'm trying to, the hypnosis is repressing my memory, like inhibiting my ability to speak, and repressing my memory, inhibiting my cognition, too. Because, like, you know, when I'm trying to think, it's like I can't think, and it's like my thoughts are kind of like paused, and I'm only able to talk around in a circle about how my thoughts are paused. That's, you know, like one of the speech patterns that the hypnosis is used. There you go. See what I mean? In succession. Like that. And it also doesn't help because, I mean, while I'm trying to describe this stuff, it almost makes me sound crazy. The misinformation and myths about hypnosis are extremely dangerous. So, I mean, you know, like, they're extreme distortions, and I mean, like, nothing could be further from the truth of hypnosis. Let's see, that it can't be abused, that it can't, oh, you can be hypnotized involuntarily. That happened to me. I didn't even know. I had no recollection of the event afterwards either. Common phenomenon, hypnosis. And, you know, it's important to have references, too. So the misinformation and myths about hypnosis are extremely dangerous, leading to a public misperception. And also, I want to clarify as well, when a person's like, I mean, first of all, the myth about hypnosis not being able to be used to abuse a person, that's completely not real. The only one that has a little bit of logic in it, and this is where, like, there's a lot of people that like, even hypnotists, that literally will take this, right, and they will stretch the truth so far, so thin, that, like, it's not even real anymore after that. So, I mean, like, that led to so many people getting abused because those people that are spreading misinformation like that, not just the people that, like, I mean, like, if you honestly believe that about hypnosis, that's okay, that's fine, that's not your fault. That's totally understandable. But, I mean, like, if you're one of those people that, like, knows exactly what it can do to a person, and, you know, like, you lie about it, and you stretch the truth like that, intentionally, just so that, you know, like, you don't make hypnosis seem scary, you don't address the dangers of it, and you lie about what it can do, you are a piece of garbage, and you are the reason why the people that are abusing me are able to get away with it. And that's why I have to demystify. I have to sorry about that. The hypnosis is abusing me. I have to clarify all the myths and rumors surrounding hypnosis and what's true or not. I have to teach people about hypnosis and verify the facts about hypnosis because of these people that are lying and spreading misinformation. So to clarify, right? When someone says that hypnosis can't be used, and I mean that's what I mean by, like, it's such an exaggeration of the truth that it's not real, because you know, the amnesia is completely involuntary from hypnosis. My repressed sense of thirst was completely involuntary. Sense of hunger, completely involuntary. Cognition, responses to post-hypnotic suggestions, not only were they involuntary, they were not even conscious or known. So saying that it's voluntary, that's a complete lie. That's a myth. Now, to clarify the reality of it, how that works. So, I mean, it's not difficult to do. Basically, hypnosis can make you do some things, but not everything. Anything. That's what it entails. Kind of like, I mean, you know, like, for example, this is actually really true, right? For a cancer patient. Okay, so hypnosis could help to treat pain or nausea associated with cancer, but it can't treat cancer. Hypnosis can, let's see, you know, like, it can help with a variety of things, right? And I mean, there's a lot of things that it can't help with. So it can control a lot of behaviors, but there's a lot of behaviors it can't control. So, and to clarify, with me specifically, what's going on is, I mean, you know, they gave me specific instructions to make the hypnosis less noticeable, right? So, you know, that's why they had to give me so many different post-hypnotic suggestions, like 5 to 15, 20, instead of, you know, just saying, like, okay, you can never speak again, right? Well, I mean, then someone would notice something was wrong, and then they would get caught for it. But if, you know, like, they did it like how I'm describing in succession, very insignificant effects individually, then, you know, like, they're not, then that's how they can abuse a person with it, subtly and discreetly. It's disgusting. And the people that are verifying those myths and rumors as true, I mean, like, that's where, you know, luckily there's the Human Givens Institute for one resource, and then for two, I mean, there's me, if that's not enough, but for the other resource, besides my own, you know, experience and my own testimony and all the evidence that I have to present about it, there's another woman that was raped with hypnosis. It was on camera, actually. I mean, I'll explain it. So, there was a lawyer, he hypnotized her, he snapped her fingers, you hear the fingers snap, and then he walks her over to the couch, because he said he was, like, walking her through a breathing exercise. You could hear some heavy breathing, and then you hear a snap, and then he walks her over to the couch. This is on camera, you can see it. ABC News story about hypnosis abuse. This lawyer got charged with doing the same thing to 6 different women. So, the guy snapped his fingers, took her over to the couch, and then you hear him say, "Your body is a vessel of pleasure," and then the police walk in and arrest him. So, I mean, honestly, anybody that tries to claim that hypnosis can't be used to abuse a person, like, I mean, you need to watch that video. And, I mean, if you've ever said that intentionally, just because it was too difficult to describe the truth, or because you were scared of describing the truth, you're a piece of garbage. And if you said it because you didn't know, that's fine. Total innocence, it's okay. Now you know. I'm sorry about that. So that's the situation there. With my situation, like I have vast amounts of evidence, which are like also undeniable. But and like I described though, right? Hypnosis can make you do some things against your will, completely involuntary, without your knowledge, without your memory or recollection. And there are some things that hypnosis cannot make you do. Me specifically, I've been given some specific instructions that are different, but like to make it less noticeable, right? But regardless of that, I'm trying to think of like examples of what like hypnosis is not able to make a person do, right? Entirely. I mean, if you're aware of it, then you they can't stop you from trying to resist it consciously. Um, I do also believe that it would be difficult to get a person to necessarily commit an articulate